o'clock news starts right now.
Another shortfall for Texas A&M San Antonio while the university is dealing with a multi-million-dollar budget shortfall that we have reported on this week. It's also running short on student housing.
Yeah, the school says that an unexpected overflow forced administrators to send about 100 students to hotel rooms this fall semester. But the thing is, they've got to move out by tomorrow.
Our Alicia Barrera spoke to those living off campus about what that's been like and what they plan to do next.
It's an unusual setup.
Not having the meal plan for sure and the shuttle.
97 students sharing small hotel rooms with a roommate and being shuttled to campus about 15 minutes away.
You just have to get up a little bit earlier for your classes because you got to take the bus.
It's $1,500 cheaper a semester than living at Esperanza Hall, the university's only dorm that houses roughly 375 students. So what led to the housing overflow?
We stopped taking reservations, in late summer, but we already had 150 or so students who were wanting to move in.
Tamusa student Lily Reimer-Buckert first broke the story on the student paper, The Mesquite.
It was a little bit personal, honestly, because I live in the dorms and I was wondering what my options for next year were going to be.
But you can't have hundreds of students living in hotels for that long.
And although some are happy with the living arrangement, others say it's affected their college experience.
I thought I connected more when I was in the dorms than here.
They'll have to check out of their rooms tomorrow morning, but at least 70 students are planning their return on January 7th.
I just like it here.
Some students living at Esperanza Hall have opted to squeeze in an extra student for the spring semester in exchange for a reduced rate. But the housing problem on campus wouldn't truly be fixed until a new dorm hall is approved, and construction for that wouldn't wrap up until fall of 2023. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Another big story we're following this evening, the highest court in the land letting the new Texas abortion law stand, but leaving the door open for more lawsuits. The Supreme Court says the law banning abortions after around 6 weeks of pregnancy can stay in place. But the justices also said that abortion providers can challenge that law in federal court. The opinion does limit which state officials can be sued, which could make it difficult for providers to resume abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. Now the case goes back to a district court for further proceedings there, opening up the possibility that that law could soon be suspended.
It's official now. A former city councilwoman is running for Congress. Rebecca Villagran plans to kick off her campaign tomorrow, and she wants to represent the 35th congressional district. U.S. Rep. Lloyd Doggett currently holds that seat, but he's seeking re-election in the newly created District 37. Villagran is going to be running as a Democrat. Other candidates for District 35 include State Representative Eddie Rodriguez and Austin City Councilman Greg Casar.
New at 6, reaction from a local author to the ongoing review of books in school libraries. Published nearly 10 years ago, Anel Flores says that her first book is in several San Antonio middle schools and high schools, as well as at UTSA and the San Antonio Public Library. Jesse Degollado now with what Flores thinks about whether certain books are appropriate for students to read.
In an excerpt from her book, Anel Flores is with her grandmother, Olivia.
I wish I could tell you, but I'm ashamed of my gluttony, my sensuality, my cravings for sweet pumpkin and pan dulce.
So much so, it's in the title, Empanada, a lesbiana story in probaditas, in little tastes.
The empanada is the best dessert in the world, and so is love.
She says her book is a love story about her gente, her people, and being Chicana and a lesbian. It's not on the list of books being reviewed by State Representative Matt Krause of Fort Worth and the Northeast Independent School District. And although Flores says she's never been officially banned, when she asked for a reading at a local university...
Oh, well, it's not appropriate. We have kids coming to this. And I always say, well, how do you know that a book with the word lesbian in it is not appropriate? You don't know that.
Flores says she believes the current atmosphere is more of a reaction.
They're scared how amazing and powerful and united we are.
Having been a teacher herself in Edgewood ISD, Flores says books like hers are necessary.
It's important that we have brown and black and queer and marginalized, silenced voices in our literature so children can feel like they belong somewhere.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
One man in the hospital, another in jail after an argument on the northwest side ended with gunfire. That happened last night in the 1800 block of Fredericksburg Road. And as Katrina Weber reports, police are still looking for another person who they say was involved.
This is the aftermath of a conversation cut short, one that ended with gunfire. A 46-year-old man was shot in his upper body around 9:30 last night. San Antonio police officers at the scene said he had been arguing with two other men on Fredericksburg Road near Zarzamora, and they say one of them suddenly shot him. Both of the suspects ran away. Within minutes, police had tracked down 51-year-old Carlos Escobedo, seen here in a 2016 mugshot. They found him about a block away and arrested him. That wounded man was loaded into an ambulance and taken to a hospital. At that time, police told us he was in critical condition. Right now, police don't seem to have more than just a vague description of that second suspect. Their investigation is continuing, though, and will most likely include questioning the man they already have in custody. Reporting from Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Now, new at 6, from phishing emails to ransomware, organizations are constantly on the lookout for cyber attacks. That also goes for the city of San Antonio and CPS Energy. But with the grand opening today of the Alamo Regional Security Operations Center at Port San Antonio, they're collaborating to keep themselves and each other safe. Garrett Berger got a peek inside and talked with the city's CIO about what they're protecting themselves against.
Years in the making, the Alamo Regional Security Operations Center, or RSOC, has been functional since late November. Today was the grand opening. Media and other visitors invited in to see the center, where the goal is to keep threats out.
The primary operation is to watch, defend the wall. Watch what's happening in your organization as cyber attacks happen, but to share that information with others.
Though the city and CPS Energy don't use each other's systems, they can give each other insights and heads up to what they're seeing.
You can get an idea from this map about how many cyber attacks are going on at just any one time throughout the world. The city alone faces thousands a day, the chief information officer says, and he only expects that to go up.
There's going to be more volumes and there's going to be new types of threats that come at us. So our job is to stay informed and stay ahead of them as best we can.
The consequences of cyber attacks can be severe. CPS Energy CEO Rudy Garza reminded the crowd at the unveiling of how much chaos the grid problems in February caused. And that was largely a natural disaster.
You know, we've got bad actors across the world that would love nothing better than to do that day in and day out.
Right now, it's primarily the city and CPS Energy involved in the RSOC. Though spokeswoman for the utility said they don't have staff on site yet, and more organizations could be brought in.
VIA is coming on board, but we have conversations with SAWS and the River Authority, the Housing Authority, and many other municipal agencies.
Bringing in more allies who can benefit from shared information. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Let's turn to traffic right now. Taking a look with the TransGuide camera here at Loop 410, Highway 281. Always a messy interchange this time of day, but you can see the traffic headed towards North Star Mall. Very heavy this evening, and we see that this time of year, of course, as we're thick into the shopping season. New at 6, a San Antonio clinic was the first in the city to test a new type of eye drop. Today, they became the first to offer it. Now get this, one drop in the morning eliminates the need to wear those cheaters or reading glasses for the rest of the day. FDA approval came 2 days ago. Ursula Perry visited that clinic and she became the first to try the drops in the city.
But up close, it's all pretty cool. This is.
I'm pretty typical when it comes to age-related blurry near vision or presbyopia. I need cheaters just to read. But at Parkhurst New Vision, a clinic that was part of the research trial, I am the first here to try a new eye drop called Vuity.
And this drop actually uses the eye's natural ability for the pupil to get smaller. And as the pupil gets smaller, what happens is it extends our depth of focus and it allows us to see better up close.
It takes 15 minutes to work. Then,
wow, there's no blurriness up close. None. Copyright Daily Vision Improvement, INC. I couldn't read that 15 minutes ago.
It's just that simple. Dr. Bobby Sines says Vuity is a daily prescription eye drop that improves near and immediate vision without impacting distance vision for 6 to 10 hours a day.
What's going to happen is what we saw in the clinical studies that we did here, because we were one of the principal investigators in that study. Patients definitely saw better up close, and even some saw better at distance.
Allergan makes Vuity, and it's by prescription only. Like eyeglasses, it will likely not be covered by most medical insurance, and it's not cheap, about $79 a month. Still, Parkhurst New Vision considers it the most exciting breakthrough in ophthalmology in 20 years.
So if you're tired of wearing these or contact lenses, believe me, there are things on the way. It's not just this drop. There are more drops and techniques coming along the pike. So go see your eye doctor if you have age-related blurry near vision. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
All right, good stuff.
Let's take a look outside with live cam. We are headed towards the weekend. We are expecting a big drop in temperature. However, our own Adam Caskey has taken his own big drop.
Yes, indeed. And your vision may get a little blurry by seeing him again. Adam.
Yes, we are live. We are over 20 stories above downtown here at the Thompson Hotel. I'm going to be back in a minute to tell you what we're doing here, why we're here. I've got all this gear on. We'll show you some video from all the activities earlier, just about an hour ago, and talk about the big changes in our weather. Okay, I do want to point out aquifers down. It's nearly 6 feet below average for this time of year. And mountain cedar is moderate today. A north wind kicks in tomorrow. We know what that means for the cedar count. I'll have the full forecast and let you know how much cooler it's going to get in just a bit.
This SA Salutes holiday greeting is brought to you by Bob Mills Furniture.
To all the San Antonio military families, I'm Bob Mills, wishing you a Merry Christmas and thank you for your service.
San Antonio police officers and Bexar County Sheriff's deputies are hitting the streets on the west side for a block walk. Tonight on the Night Beat, what they're advocating for.
There's a new gathering place in Universal City. We talked to the owner of this new brewery and we take a look at their unique menu on the Night Beat.
Understanding your risk for breast cancer is key. In fact, it's one of the things that researchers emphasize as the 2021 San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium wraps up. You know, KSAT has been covering this event all week. Earlier today, we spoke with a local oncologist about the specific group that's at higher risk of dying from breast cancer and what all women can do to stay healthy. It's a startling statistic. Black women have a 40% higher death rate from breast cancer compared to white women. That's according to the CDC. The question is, why? Researchers are still trying to answer that.
African American women as a group probably are affected by breast cancer a lot less in comparison to Caucasian women, that when you look at outcomes in terms of death rates, it's much more severe.
Dr. Sharon Wilkes is an oncologist and hematologist at Texas Oncology. She recommends we all do a few things to understand our risk for breast cancer, which is the second most common cancer among women in the U.S. She says, first, understand your family history.
That's very vital for individuals in terms of risk reduction methods to at least know, are you at risk? Is there a family history? Did my mom, did my grandmother, did my cousins, or other members affected with cancer?
That's an important one because once you know if it runs in your family, you can discuss it with your doctor and get genetic testing.
These mutations, when they occur, individuals are diagnosed probably on average anywhere from 10 to 20 years earlier than the average person in terms of risk of diagnosis for breast cancer. And so certainly if one can have access to that kind of testing, I think that's important.
Dr. Wilkes says something else we can do is maintain a healthy weight.
There's numerous reports that continue to be consistent that show that women who are active and who have a lower body mass index really do have a better outcome when it comes to breast cancer.
All right, so coming up tonight on the Night Beat, we're going to hear more from Dr. Wilkes as she answers your questions about breast cancer.
All right, let's take a look outside with Sky 12 tonight above Travis Park.
Pretty.
We've seen it once or twice.
Can't get sick of it.
Third, fourth, fifth, sixth time is just fine. It's beautiful out there, 76 degrees, and it's been an adventure in the weather department this evening. Adam Caskey is out live. If you saw this earlier before the break, you're probably wondering, what is he up to now? Explain.
Yes, this deserves a big explanation. We are over 20 stories above downtown right now on the very top of the Thompson Hotel for Over the Edge. It's a wonderful program that supports the Epilepsy Foundation of Central and South Texas. So you can raise money, it takes $1,000, then you can come up here, and they're doing this tomorrow. There's still spots for it. And you see all these safety equipment that's been not only double, not only triple, more than quadruple checked, and you can rappel down with someone or just by yourself. And it takes several minutes to get all the way down. You got all the safety backup parking brake in case you go a little too fast. You got your control arm here. We'll show you video of this in just 1 second, but I want to get to the weather here. And we're going to pop up the graphics in just 1 second, but I do have to say the sunset behind us was spectacular. This view was amazing up here, and it was a perfect day to do it, but it's going to be very different tomorrow. All right, take a look at our almanac data. 71 this morning. 83 degrees for the high temperature today. We missed the record high by just 2 degrees. That's it. Obviously well above average. Average would be in the mid-60s in the afternoon. Well, it's all going to change this weekend. Still mild outside right now. You see widespread 70s, even some 80s further west of town. But here's the key, too. The dew points are up again. We still have that high humidity. Dew points now still well into the 60s. And so we feel that stickiness outside. It's not oppressive, but it's going to be wiped away for a few days. Let's show you the cold front that's headed our way. You look at our local temperatures, 76 New Braunfels, 78 in San Antonio, still some 80s, Del Rio, down in Cotulla. Cotulla actually hit 90 today. But here's the big picture. Look off to our north. Creeping into North Texas, there's the cold front, and behind it, we've got the temperatures down in the 30s. That cooler air is plunging our way, and it's going to be here for the extent of the weekend. There is some snow associated with that system, but none of that's going to be affecting us. And actually, unfortunately, I don't think we'll really tap into any moisture with it. Rain chances are pretty bleak here for the foreseeable future. We're looking at a 10% chance tonight in just a few spots, especially east of town and early in the pre-dawn hours tomorrow. Then 20% chances here and there as we get into next week. But that's about all we can do for the rain at this moment. Winds are going to be a big story. Right now, calm. Take a look at the forecast tomorrow. Those winds, even later tonight, after midnight, the wind starts picking up, and by sunrise tomorrow, we are anticipating wind gusts of up to 40 to maybe even 45 miles per hour. Luckily, where we're situated in the Thompson is not on the windward side, so that's going to help, and they've done this in worse weather conditions than our wind gusts that we have. Anyway, tomorrow, we'll have the gusty winds, and temperatures in the morning down in the 50s. By the afternoon, right near 60 degrees, low humidity. Look at Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Coldest we've seen yet. 34 is what we're forecasting in and around San Antonio. We could even have our first freeze, and I think we will have a freeze in some outlying areas, so something to keep in mind. And, of course, we'll be fine-tuning the forecast. Sarah and Katie will be on top of it all weekend long. And then we get into next week, we quickly rebound. 60s on Monday, humidity's back on Tuesday. And just those 20% chances next week with temperatures well into the 70s. All right, without further ado, let's see how I did earlier today. I haven't gotten to watch it. I just got to experience it. Here's the video of going over the edge. The worst is the lean. That initial lean over the edge. And then you start going, and of course you gain confidence, and you say, oh yeah, I trust the ropes. This feels good. I'm getting used to it. It was fun. I have to admit, I had a mix of nervous emotions and a lot of excitement. But what I like about stuff like this, and I talked to even some folks on the ground who are doing it tomorrow, they're excited because they're really nervous, but they know once they do it, they're going to feel so much better afterwards. And that's why I love events and things like this. Plus, it goes to a good cause, the Epilepsy Foundation of Central and South Texas. And you can actually do this if you want. Go to our website, KSAT.com. We have an article about this, and there's a link in there on how you could raise some money even tomorrow or pay to come do this and do it all for a good cause and gain some confidence. That's the way I like to see it, all for a charity. So we'll be back from a different location here to Thompson. Nice balcony overlooking downtown, and we'll see you next half hour for that forecast, okay?
You did awesome, and on live TV, of course, and he talked the whole time, which was fantastic.
Did his forecast while he was doing that lean. All right, Adam, giving you props, buddy. Putting a smile on our faces, too. That was pretty awesome. You know what else put a smile on our faces? The Spurs.
Yes.
But it was really a team effort.
It really was. With Keldon Johnson out, that's about almost 15 points a game the Spurs were missing, not to mention his defensive effort. So the Spurs needed a team effort to beat the Nuggets. They did, and Derek White was really a star of the show last night. Plus, the Houston Texans, They're going back to Davis Mills. Coming up.
I guess everybody want to know who the quarterback's going to be on Sunday.
Houston Texans head coach David Culley is going back to rookie QB Davis Mills in Big Board Sports. Led by Derek White and his team-high 23 points, the Spurs beat the Nuggets 123-111 last night, snapping their two-game losing streak. Coach Pop said White was stupendous, making a lot of good plays to help you win. Devin Vassell returned after missing 5 of the last 6 games with a right quad contusion, and he scored 9 points in 17 minutes. DeJounte added 20, Doug McDermott 17, and Drew Eubanks 14 off the bench. One key last night as well was the Spurs. They were able to keep Nuggets MVP Nikola Jokic under control. Yes, he still had a triple-double, 22 points, 13 boards, and 10 assists, but he didn't take over the game. Credit Jakob Poeltl on the Spurs defense for a job well done.
They're all battling. I mean, Jokic is a handful. Just battling, tipping the ball. I mean, Yak got a lot of second chance opportunities for us, which led to threes and stuff like that. So just battling, working, and then KBD was huge. Holding Gordon, battling, pushing him out, stuff like that. So they were all huge tonight.
A lot of guys chipped in and stepped up, with the Wild Mustang, Keldon Johnson, sitting out with a sprained ankle. That's 14.4 points and countless hustle plays sitting on the bench. He's the Spurs' second leading scorer this season behind DeJounte Murray. So the same two will hoop again tomorrow night, 7:30 at the AT&T Center. Pop said Johnson will not play tomorrow night due to his ankle, and he's uncertain when Keldon will return.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
This morning, Texans head coach David Culley named rookie Davis Mills his starting quarterback for the rest of the season. Coach said it has nothing to do with Tyrod Taylor, who injured his left non-throwing hand Sunday against the Colts, not being ready. It's just they feel like that's the best thing that gives them a chance to win. Davis was thrown into the fire in week 2 at Cleveland after Taylor pulled a hamstring right before halftime. So Davis played in 6 straight games after that before making way for Tyrod in week 9. Coach was asked if he feels what Davis has done before will help him moving forward.
I think it'll be a tremendous help for him. The big thing about that is that he's played 6 ball games. He got thrown into it right away in Cleveland, and then he had to just go head first. But I thought if he can do the things that he did, and I expect him to, in the New England game, which he played very, very well. Good decisions, protected the ball. I feel like we'll be fine.
As for how Taylor took the news, Coach said he's a pro, but he didn't like the decision. Houston will host Seattle Sunday at noon at NRG Stadium. Nelson Wolff Stadium is about to host some boxing to end 2021. Lanier alum Rick Medina is headlining the Fight by TMB Promotions Saturday night. Now, during the start of the pandemic last year, the United States didn't host a lot of fights, so Medina fought in Mexico in 2020. Now he is 3-0 this year and looking to go out with another win. That's after he dropped down in weight to compete in this 8-round featherweight contest.
I'm fighting at 126, so yes, I had to drop a couple more pounds, but it wasn't no big deal. You know, I had a good meal prep, strength and conditioning coach. You know, everything went great.
You can still get tickets for the fight card and cheer on a hometown boxer as he fights Dallas native Oscar Mojica. And here is that information for you. It is Saturday night, Wolff Stadium. Doors open at 6. The first fight's at 7:30, and you can get your tickets at samissions.com.
All right, good stuff.
Yep.
Exciting. We'll be right back after this. Breast cancer, it is the second most common cancer among women in the U.S. And this week, doctors and researchers from the entire world joined the 2021 San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium to discuss the latest treatments and findings.
And joining us now for today's KSAT Q&A to talk about this disease, Dr. Virginia Kaklamani. She is an oncologist with UT Health San Antonio MD Anderson Cancer Center. Doctor, thanks for being here this week. We have gotten so many questions in light of this symposium from viewers who want to know about this illness. And I want to get to the first one that we've received multiple questions about: dense breast tissue. Some viewers wrote to us saying, I get a mammogram, but they say, well, just keep in mind you have dense breast tissue. What does that mean, and what should someone take from that when they get that diagnosis, essentially?
So women that have dense breasts have an increased risk of getting breast cancer. Having said that, we don't do anything differently. So I would urge your viewers to discard that information. It's important that we go for mammograms. It's important that the radiologists do a good job looking at the mammograms. But the breast density, even though it's on the reports and it has to do with legislature, we don't act on it.
Okay, now when it comes to breast exams, what exactly should we be looking for when we conduct these ourselves, and how often should we do them?
Well, actually, we should not be doing them. This is a change in the past few years from our recommendations that the recommendations are against women doing self-breast exams because, unfortunately, most women are not taught how to do a breast exam, and therefore they see something, they get very upset, they see a physician only to find out that it's nothing. Having said that, there was a nurses study that looked at teaching nurses how to do an exam, and when the nurses were taught how to do an exam, they actually were able to detect breast cancer. So the bottom line is be aware of your breasts. Look at your breasts, make sure that you don't see any changes, and if you do not ignore that. Talk to your physician.
That is a big change that I'm actually surprised to hear. I hadn't heard that self-exams are no longer recommended. Steph and I were talking about, would we know what to look for? Would we know what we're looking for and feeling for? So if somebody does notice a change, though, they're not sure what it is, what should be their first step?
Go to your doctor right away. Make sure that you have imaging. And if the imaging doesn't show anything, and that's important, it doesn't mean that it's nothing. It means that you may still need a biopsy. If the imaging does show something and it looks like it's benign, so not cancerous, that's okay. But if the imaging doesn't show anything, and sometimes in those dense breasts, it might not, we still need to pursue it further to make sure it's not cancer.
And when we talk about changes in the breast that should be concerning, could you give us specific examples of what those changes would be that should alarm us?
So if a woman looks at herself in the mirror before she takes a shower or after, and she looks at her breasts, she can see different changes in how the breasts look. If you see a lump, it's actually pretty easy to realize that this should not be there. Another thing to look out for is changes in the nipple. If there are, such as inversion of the nipple, that's something that's extremely important. We cannot ignore. Sometimes there's nipple secretions, and that, again, is not something to ignore.
Another viewer question that we got multiple on: triple negative breast cancer. Can you explain what that is?
So when we look at breast cancer, we look at three markers: the estrogen receptor, the progesterone receptor, and another marker called HER2. In cancers that don't express any of those receptors, we've used the name triple negative. It's kind of hard because it means that they don't express anything. They can be aggressive. We typically treat them with chemotherapy. At our symposium the past few days, we've had so many updates on triple negative breast cancer, so we're coming up with new treatments. But for now, it's the most aggressive type of breast cancer.
Now, also, a big thing is family history, but, there are many women who say, I don't know of anybody in my family who has breast cancer, yet I've been diagnosed. We'd had one of those viewers actually reach out to us. Just for those of us who maybe are a little younger or don't have a history of breast cancer in our family, but obviously are still concerned about this, what should we do?
Well, 1 in 8 breast cancers, 1 in 8 women get breast cancer. So just because you don't have a family history doesn't mean that you're not at risk. We're at risk just by being women. So please make sure that you, again, are aware of your breast health, that you go for mammograms starting at the age of 40, and that if there's any changes, you let your physician know right away. It's not just a family history.
One viewer who wrote into us said that she does have a family history of it. She says, I have 3 family members that have had breast cancer, including my identical twin sister. What should I do to watch for that?
So one of the things that's important for this viewer is whether she's a candidate for genetic testing. There's many women that will get breast cancer because of their family history and because of the genes that they carry. And it's very easy for us to detect that and help detect early breast cancer or prevent it altogether. So the other thing is that she might be a candidate for more intense screening, such as screening with MRIs. So that's something that she, again, needs to talk to her physician, make sure she gets referred to a genetic counselor and potentially a specialist.
When you talk about genetic testing, are you referring to the BRCA gene?
Exactly. But now we have probably another 20-some genes that we test for. But the most common ones are BRCA1 and BRCA2.
When someone hears that diagnosis of cancer, often the first thing people think of in terms of treatment, chemotherapy. Can you talk about any other treatments or advances in treatments that are on the table now?
We're trying really hard to decrease the number of patients that need chemotherapy. And that, again, is something that we've talked about in the past 4 days here. So optimization of treatment, treat patients as aggressively as they need to be treated. The other treatments that we have available is endocrine therapy, so anti-estrogen treatment. We give immunotherapy, and immunotherapy is drugs that empower our immune system to kill the breast cancer. And so those are very powerful tools. And then other targeted drugs that look at a specific target in the breast cancer that do not include any chemotherapy, but sometimes we also combine them with chemotherapy.
Understood. All right, Dr. Virginia Kaklamani, an oncologist here with San Antonio. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And if you have any other questions about breast cancer for our viewers out there, we have, if you go on our website, KSAT.com, you'll find a list of questions and answers from local experts here in our area. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Doctor, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back. So much going on this weekend, and if you're looking for something to do, a local nonprofit art gallery has a new exhibition of artwork, all of it done by veterans.
Some of the artwork you will find at the Beale House Arts Gallery is created by professional veteran artists, and other pieces by veterans enrolled in their Forward Arts program.
Tiffany Huertas gives us a look at the exhibition and also explains how the program is helping veterans through art.
It brought me back out of my shell. Helen KSAT served in the Air Force for 23 years. She is part of the Forward Arts program that helps veterans heal through art. I also suffer from PTSD, MST. And so a lot of times I'll just be quiet or shut down. And being in this program, I feel me back to where I was again. And it's a very healing type of program for the mind, the body, the soul. The program offers professionally taught drawing and painting classes free of charge to veterans.
San Antonio's Military City, USA. We need to take every opportunity we can to work with veterans to help them overcome trauma and PTSD. Veterans part of this program will showcase their artwork at a new exhibit at the Beale House Arts Gallery located along Fredericksburg Road inside the Sorrento Senior Apartment Complex. There are many interesting pieces and veteran stories here at the gallery, including this one from Don Gomez. He had never done art before and he fell in love with it, and now he's in the art program at UTSA. Air Force veteran Cody Vance will also showcase different art pieces.
This one is completely about PTSD and TBI. It's really a metaphor of life, that we're all kind of a jigsaw puzzle, that we're constantly putting pieces in and pulling pieces out. The exhibit is free and runs from 1 to 4 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays until December 18th. Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
That one looks particularly cool. I like that. All right, we live cam right now. We've got a live look here over 410. Traffic not so bad right now, 74 degrees, and boy, are we going to see changes.
Yes, we are. Adam Caskey is out and about and always adventurous. Hey, Adam.
And I was able to change now. I got out of all the rappelling gear, and I've come to the nice, fun and cozy outdoor bar here at and restaurant area at the Thompson. So instead of 22 stories, we're now down to 20 stories, but a beautiful view over my shoulder. Here's the key. I'm out here in short sleeves. I'm just fine right now. Actually, I would recommend short sleeves this evening and tonight, but tomorrow and all weekend, completely different story. We're going to get into those details on how much cooler it's going to get, how long it's going to last, and the gusty winds. See you in a few minutes.
Weekend just about here. We're getting ready for some really big changes this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Today you could just walk out and see our friend Adam right there at the rooftop of a Thompson Hotel wearing short sleeves. And you're saying, Adam, that if you go out this weekend, we should grab our jackets.
Yes, absolutely have jackets ready to go, long sleeves at least once we get into the weekend. And if you don't, you're going to step outside, turn right back around, go inside, and you're going to change. Let's take a look, first of all, at our almanac data, then some current conditions out there and what's going to happen. We are 20 stories up, beautiful view. Let's pop up our graphics. And today we started off at 61, then we made it up to 83 for the high temperature. So we were just 2 degrees shy of the record today for the record high, just 2 degrees shy. I do want to point out we hit 90 degrees in Cotulla, and that's some of the typically warmer spots south of San Antonio. All right, look at the temperatures and the highs across the state. Amarillo, 66, a little cooler to the north, but then Laredo, 91 degrees, and temperatures right now are starting to cool off farther to the north of us. That's the cold front. See those cooler readings, those digits that are dropping down into the 40s and 50s, panhandle? That's the cold front that's going to hit us tonight, with the effects being felt first thing tomorrow morning. Already a dry line ahead of it, so those of you in Rock Springs, some parts of the Hill Country, and even near Del Rio, you have a break in the humidity, but we don't here for San Antonio and the vast majority of the KSAT 12 viewing area. Let's get the big picture of temperatures and show you the extent and strength of this cold front. I showed you around town, we're still in the 70s, 78 in San Antonio, but then you shift the view off to the north and you see where that cold front's situated, and you look behind it, and bingo, we're talking temperatures down in the 30s behind that front, and even cooler now in some spots. So that cooler air is going to be pushing our way. I mean, you're talking 28 in Denver, 25 in Fargo. As for precipitation, a lot of snow on the cold side of that system, the parent low pressure system to that cold front. A lot of snow on the north side, and then severe weather, parts of the Mississippi Valley and Mid-South. We're talking Memphis area and parts of Tennessee and stretching into Arkansas. That's all going to stay out of here. If we're lucky, we'll squeeze out 1 or 2 showers from that cold front, mainly east of San Antonio. I mean, look at our rain chances. I wish they were better, but only a 10% chance tonight, mainly east of San Antonio. And then next week, we'll have about 20% chances starting Tuesday on into Wednesday and Thursday as well. But we're not talking anything significant. What is going to be significant, and you're going to notice it, the wind. Right now, calm around town. But just wait till you wake up tomorrow morning. Look at our future cast. We're expecting wind gusts between 40 and 45 miles per hour. So 55 degrees in the morning at 7 a.m. By 4 o'clock, we'll be only near 60 with the gusty winds and low humidity. Sunday morning, the coldest we've been yet in San Antonio, 34 is what we're predicting. It's within the realm of possibility we could have our first freeze, even officially at the airport in town, and especially in outlying areas. Then sunny and 62 and not even a noticeable breeze on Sunday. Next week, pretty straightforward. The humidity's back by Tuesday, and temperatures are back in the 70s for a good portion of next week. So just feeling fall-like for a few days. So why are we at the Thompson right now? Well, take a look at your screen. Look at the video. That's me going over the edge for the Over the Edge program, which is to support the Epilepsy Foundation of Central and South Texas. And you can raise funds. It takes $1,000 to donate to the organization, to the Epilepsy Foundation, and then you can rappel down, and even rappel down with somebody. On our website, we've got a story about it on KSAT.com and a link that you can click on if you want more information, or you just want to contribute or even be a part of it. And this is an annual event. This year at the Thompson, we were about 22 stories up. That first lean off the edge. Oh, I don't care how I've done it before, but it always gets me. That initial lean, you just got to have faith in your gear, and then you just take it in. And if you do take part in this, be sure to look around. Do look down. Look around and take it in. Don't just be caught up in the scared of what you're doing and the fear of it, but look around and enjoy the view.
Good stuff.
He did the scary stuff earlier, and now he's at the bar.
Yeah, now you're just hanging out, Adam.
Enjoying the view. Thanks, Adam.
Good stuff. In case you missed it, it's coming up next.
And good morning to you. It is Friday, the 10th of December.
Cleanup is underway this morning after an overnight crash on the east side. San Antonio police say a man driving a blue car crashed into an ambulance. The driver of that blue car then hit an SUV before he rolled into a light pole. No one was hurt in that crash. Officers tell us that alcohol was not a factor. Police got a call to the 1800 block of Fredericksburg Road near North Zarzamora. Now, witnesses told police 3 men were arguing when someone pulled out a gun.
One of the men they described as homeless, he's the one that ended up being shot. He was taken to University Hospital in critical condition. The other 2 men took off running, but police were able to catch up with one of them.
Texas Diaper Bank hosting a big distribution. Some of the items they handed out included diapers, hand sanitizers, socks, and winter coats.
So, it was also an exciting day for our friend Adam Caskey. We're about to get into some colder weather this weekend, but he's excited about more than just that.
Yes, he is taking part in this year's Over the Edge charity event. It's benefiting the Epilepsy Foundation of Central and South Texas. This is happening at the Thompson Hotel, where Adam is all rigged up to get going. You're making me nervous.
You think you're nervous? We are all rigged up, ready to go, over 20 stories up. So now we're still in park. All right, and then I gently pull it back. Woo!
Yay! Go
well done.
Back on the ground.
How you
Thank
feeling,
you.
Adam?
That was
How you feeling?
fun.
Warm out there right now, but a cold front will arrive in the overnight hours. That is going to make our weekend weather drastically different from the last few days. We're going to have wind gusts of up to 40 to 45 miles per hour early tomorrow. So those Christmas decorations, make sure they're secure. Highs in the 60s and potentially our first freeze on Sunday morning. So plan accordingly.
Thanks for hanging out, Sarah Spivey.
Of course.
Thanks for watching.